Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. I couldn't quite tell if you were doing a selfie there, if we were going or not. New year, new you, new me, new all of us.
Is it a new you?
It's new me, maybe same me. Anyways, guys, I want to start the new year off by addressing the elephant in the room that has been the elephant in the room for a long time. We finally were able to fix the levels of the studio. No more commenting. Take creatine, Your Honor. All these people out there, is this big speculation. Why are you above the guest? Why you put the guests like this? Listen, guys, when we built the studio, somebody's fuck up. Carson, I don't want to say it was yours. I'll take accountability, Carson. But anyways, long story short, we built the studio.
It was actually me.
Somebody who set the studio up wrong. And so whatever.
I was like, put us in like a box area situation where we're like the DJ.
Yeah, but it was.
I know, but it didn't land on video.
It didn't land on video.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, they know what we're talking about.
Okay, if you don't know what we're talking about, though, we designed a studio. It's amazing. It's in Austin, Texas. But when we designed it, the area that Michael and I sit at is higher than the guest, so it looks like we're looking down on the guest.
They know. They know. They've commented. They've been tearing us apart.
I don't read a lot of the comments sometimes.
I understand that. Listen, we've only been doing this show for about 10 years. How are we supposed to know how to set up a studio? Right? Anyways, long story short, guys.
It's a work in progress.
We wanted to fix it for a long time, but we record so frequently because we're producing these episodes so often that we didn't have enough downtime to get somebody in here to take the whole thing apart and reset it. Recently, we just went to California for 2 weeks. We're recording over there, doing holiday party, end of year stuff in that office, and we had the time to set it. So now we fixed the studio. We know what you've been saying. We get it. It's been awkward for us too.
New year, new studio. Okay, let's hop right into it. 10 things that we are doing this year that we hope will inspire some of you.
Are you going to look at me during the episode, or are you just going to?
No, I don't want to look at you because I like this angle of myself.
All right, fine.
So I'm just going to side peripheral you and talk to you like this.
It's really awkward because I'm staring at the side of your head trying to have a conversation with you.
Some people aren't watching this episode. They're listening, so it's fine. I'm peripheраling you out of my eyes. You're going to have to deal with it.
At some point, we're going to figure out just the right geometry, trigonometry, algebra to get this studio set up so that we can actually look at each other, get the right angles, have the right height. We'll figure it out, promise. Okay, guys, so we wanted to do an episode to kick off the year to talk about, it's actually things that Lauren and I do every year at the start of a new year to completely enhance our year, change our lives, improve, get better, start it off on the right foot. We thought sharing it with you guys as we move into 2025 would be beneficial for those that can maybe take some of what we do and apply it to their own life so that you can also have a fabulous year. So this episode, we're going to talk about these 10 things we do. I have 5. Lauren has 5. Lauren, do you want to kick it off?
Well, first, I just want to say that this is kind of like an audit. So personally, what I did is I looked at my last year. I looked at the areas where I think that I could improve for the upcoming year. And I wrote down all of those areas that I wanted to improve. But typically what I do with this is I do like a think week. My favorite.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this with you looking at me. This is so awkward.
My favorite thing to do, my favorite time of the year, literally no one can unsee this, is the 2nd to the 7th. January 2nd to the 7th, and I'll tell you why. Everyone is exhausted by their family from Christmas or the holidays, and then they're exhausted from the New Year, so no one is like on it, which is so nice because it gives you actually space to have clarity. So I do a think week from the 2nd to the 7th, and I go over everything I want, all my intentions, all my goals, all my systems, everything, and I put it into a journal of what I want to accomplish for the upcoming year. And then I'll write a page of all my ideas that I want to get done by the end of the year, and I'll fold it up and put it in a drawer, and I'll get to the end of the year and make sure I did all.
Are you talking to me, or are you just talking off into space? Anyways, I think we should run a poll.
Okay.
I think the best time of the year is the 26th to the 30th because everybody's out and checked out, and it's
wrong.
Like you get quiet time.
Because you have New Year's.
Everyone's back the 2nd though. Everyone's ready to go. They're nailing your inbox. Yeah, they're nailing your inbox.
Do a poll. Go comment on our latest Instagram. No one is ready to go the 2nd. They're burnt out. They're tired. They're done. They want time to themselves. It's time to recharge the battery. Carson.
No,
what's better?
The question is, what is the most quiet, best organized week to kind of like go introspective?
No. Way too long in the tooth question.
Okay,
this is the question. What is the best time of the year to have space to yourself? The 26th through the 1st?
No, I said 26th through the 30th.
Or the 2nd, January 2nd to the 7th?
I think the 2nd to the 7th.
Yeah, 100%.
What are you, Carson? You were back in office on the 2nd. You better not be having space to yourself. You better be
Everyone's
back on it.
spaced out.
Well, besides that,
You're
I
not,
don't mean
you
that.
know, no,
Guys,
trust me.
I'm telling you, because 26th to the 30th, nobody's around.
whatever.
Everything's shut down. Okay.
My Think Week is the 2nd through the 7th of January.
So is this your first thing you do? Is you take the Think Week? That's
I
your
do
first,
my Think
That's
Week.
number one on the list. You take a Think Week.
No, that's not on my list. I haven't pulled my list out.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so I wrote my list out. I wrote it in my notes app, and I'll go first with mine. So
You can do number one first.
yeah, something that is so important to me, and I feel like this is important to you too, and I cannot perform like the athlete that I want to perform at in business if I don't have this, is space. Space on my calendar is something that is like, it's probably the most important thing because I can choose what to plug in to that space. So when I first started the blog, everything was yes, 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 I can do it. Yes, I can hustle. Yes, yes, yes. Yes got me so far for like 9 years. And then yes stops working for you. You have to learn to say no, and you have to have sort of this transition. And now I'm at the space where I have said no to a lot of things for the last 5 years. But now I'm at the point where this upcoming year, I want to see gaps on my calendar. Katie, I hope you're listening. And I've noticed with even being your wife that if you don't have space on your calendar, you're not as efficient.
Yeah, but I do think, to play devil's advocate for people that are listening, there is a period in your career, we're getting a little older here, where you have to have a lot more yeses in the beginning than nos.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But luckily now, we've been doing this for a long time. You can have a few more nos, but I agree with you. I think you have to say yes for a long time in order to create opportunity. But then at some point, once you've drummed up some opportunity for yourself, and we did an episode with Ryan Holiday on this, then you have to kind of step back and protect those opportunities by saying no. You can't just say yes forever.
He has this funny meme on his page where it's like all these different blocks on his calendar. And the first one's like, no, I cannot get my brain picked for coffee. I will be reading. And the next one's like, no, I cannot go to your event. I will be working on building my business. And that's kind of how I'm looking at it. And to be really honest, I'm just at a space in my life right now where if I don't want to do it and it's not moving the needle towards something that I'm super passionate about, the show, my product line, my family, it's going to be a no for me. And I'm actually really comfortable with saying that. I used to be like, oh no, but if I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it. That's just where I'm at. And that's this year. It's like that's it.
So what's the takeaway?
Okay. So the takeaway is, what will I be filling that space with? Because I think that's the takeaway for the audience if you do want to create more space on your calendar. So what are you filling the space with? I like to fill it with creating, writing. If you want to write a book, you can fill that space every day with 20 minutes a day of writing that goes towards the bigger picture, which is a book. You've always wanted to write a book. Get some free space on your calendar. You could fill it with meditating, which is going to center you. It's going to relax your nervous system. You could fill it with working out. You could fill it with taking a walk. You could fill it with, making a morning coffee. The point is you're filling it with things that you feel like move the needle for you to be better.
So you're not just opening space to do nothing. You have to fill it.
My thing is, open the space, but be intentional about the space. So for me, I have in my calendar, I know you have this too, reading for an hour at night. That's in both of our calendars. That's open space. I like to open space in my calendars to be with my kids. So when I pick them up from school, I'll open space to bake cookies. It can be really simple, but it's opening space to do what you actually want to do.
All right. My first thing, I do this at the beginning of every year. Lauren knows I do this. I've talked about it on a solo episode. It's a system that I call the 711, which again, I didn't come up with, but it's something that I implement. I start every single year with the overall theme of what I want that year to be. So for example, in 2023, that theme was, I need to develop a fitness routine that I stay consistent with. And the theme was that's everything else in my life worked around that routine. The theme of this year was I want to get in great shape. I'm almost approaching my 40s. I want to be in the best shape of my life by the time I'm 40. So this year, the theme was health, fitness, wellness, getting my sleep under control, getting my diet under control, getting my body in shape, all of these things. the theme of this year, now that I feel like I have a base, is I just want to be an absolute beast in business this year. I want to go really hard. I want to get all the distractions out. I want the theme of this year to be, when you look back on it, be like, this guy just crushed his business this year. And so anyways, I think overarching, the takeaway here is that I pick a theme, and I think anyone can pick a theme for what they want the overarching theme, again, I'll say it again, of their year to be. And then I implement the 7-1-1 strategy, which I've talked about before, but which I will remind everyone here again. The 7-1-1 strategy is you create a goal list of what you want to happen in 7 years. And the reason it's 7 years is that gives you enough time and enough future perspective to pursue big goals. So you write down a list of maybe 4 or 5 things that you want to happen in 7 years. That could be, you want to be married, or you want to have a house, or you want to have X amount in savings, or you want to have X children, or you want to be in this whatever it is in 7 years that you want to happen. And I think you can get specific with that. Like, I want this kind of house, or this kind of family, or this kind of savings account, or whatever it may be. Then the next part of that is I do the 1, which is a year. What do I need to do in 1 year's time? And I literally write this out. What needs to happen this year being 2025, for me to move as far as I can against the goal that I've set for myself in the future of 7 years. And then once I know what this year needs to look like, for example, that might be, I need to save $20,000 in 1 year, or I need to get in a serious relationship in 1 year, or I need to be going to the gym, or whatever it may be. You set that year. And then the last part is the last one, which is 1 month. What are the systems and things you need to do every single month to execute against that 1 year goal? I think if you create a theme overall for the year, like I said, in my case, I want to really focus on my business. And then you have long-term goals in 7-year window to pursue against. And then you have a 1 year plan mixed with 1 year or 1 month goals. You'll just start to be able to execute efficiently all the time. I think the biggest mistake people make is they make these huge goals with no execution plan, and then they don't get anywhere. So pick a theme, do the 7-1-1 rule. That's how I would start every year. And that's what I think everyone else should do as well.
I also think, though, that you need to talk about little things around being a beast in business, meaning you told me this, like, you're going to drink less alcohol, which is then going to make you a beast in business. You're going to blank to blank. I think you need to give like little, because you're not just saying, I want to be a beast in business.
If you pick a theme for your year, then what you're doing is you're also taking on an identity. So if I want to be, quote unquote, a business beast, that's what I call it. But if just say you want to crush your business this year,
okay,
or your job, whatever it may be, your career, then you take that on as identity and say, if you're going to be someone that's doing those things for this year, then what would that kind of person who does those things do? Well, that means you can't be out at the bar every night drinking till 2 a.m. That means
that's never really been you, though.
Of course not. You can't be playing video games all the time. You can't be trying to go on 18 million dates. You can't be distracted. You have to say yes to a lot more things to move the business forward. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to maybe stretch yourself in a way that you wouldn't be. You have to be, if you're in a company, maybe you have to volunteer more. You have to speak more, whatever it may be. But by taking on the identity of what somebody that is a quote unquote business beast or career beast would do, it helps you eliminate, because you can ask yourself, what would that person not do? And so whenever I go into these years, like for example, this year, if I want to be a healthy person, that means a healthy person eats well, goes to the gym consistently, sleeps well, takes care of themselves. You're not eating McDonald's every night or treating yourself poorly, because it's not what a healthy person would do.
Are you at request for coaching?
Sure.
Do you have a request box?
Actually, you know what? Now the way you're saying it, I don't know if I'm at request for coaching. I changed my mind.
I have a request to put in the request box. Can 2016 be, I'm going to be a beast husband?
2016, like when we got married? Yes, you got it, Lauren. That's the year we got married. Nailed it that year.
2026 should be that you are going to be a beast husband.
2020.
Not next year.
No, I'll skip a year. I could,
Not 2025. I already made the theme in this year.
Okay, so 2026.
2026, I'm gonna be a sex machine.
That's not what I was referring to, but sure.
All
okay.
Right. Lauren, what's your number 2?
Number 2.
Or I guess it's me number 3 on our list.
No, it's number 2.
Well, it's number 3 on the overall. You did one, I did one, and now we're at 3.
Okay, so we recently had Mel Robbins on the podcast. I find her to be very interesting, and I think that her theories are very digestible and applicable. I think it's something you could wake up tomorrow and apply. Her 5-second rule, I think, is a really good one to get you going. But the one that resonated for me is in her latest book, Let Them and then Let Me. So she said it's like a 2-part thing. So let people do whatever they want to do. Just let them, but then let me. And I think let me is like, I'm going to respond how I think I should respond accordingly. And I think using that theory is so amazing because it doesn't allow you to give energy towards things that aren't moving your needle. And it doesn't, you don't really have the capacity to deal with everyone's bullshit. So I got her book. I've been highlighting it. I highly recommend it. I think it's a really good, easy theory to apply to next year. And it truly gives you more gas in your tank to do things that are more productive.
I'm going to take you very seriously in saying that you're going to implement some of these things. So as we move into 2025, you're going to let me
go ahead.
Do my thing. You're not going to be a backseat driver. You're not going to be micromanaging my time on X.
That's fine. Well, yeah.
You're not going to be wondering what I'm doing if I'm, playing my games or...
What game do you play? Tell everyone what game you play. He loves these games. What's the game?
So tangent. I was talking to Dr. Craig Conover, who's our doctor, and he was saying, he looked at all my blood work. He's like, I think you should go and do something that's just good for your mind, just de-stressing. And just like go back, play video games because they're active. You're actively participating, but you're also zoning out. So I don't, I just play.
What's the game you play?
I played Wukong. Carson knows that. I love that game. That was a good game. I'm playing Call of Duty 6 right now, but that's like, you could do that on and off. I got this new Star Wars game. Didn't like that one that much.
Okay.
I got...
It seems like playing games is like My Housewives.
Yeah. I just like go and I zone out.
Okay.
Hang out. But anyways, okay. I'm just going to hold you to that. You're going to let me... I don't think you can.
My husband, you're not on porn, you're on games. Great.
No, I don't think guys should watch porn.
Oh, here's a twist, Carson. This wasn't expected in this episode. Okay.
I've talked to too many people. It's just not, it's not good for your sex life. It's not good for your attention. I'm not going to judge if you've watched porn. I've watched porn in the past, but I don't find it productive. I think it lowers your testosterone. Maybe I'm a myth about that. I think it teaches you to finish too quickly in the bedroom. I think it's bad for your dopamine. We've talked to porn stars on the show, and after hearing their stories,
you got turned off on it after talking to porn stars on the show.
Well, we talked to Lana Rhodes, and she's like a prominent adult film star. Is that what you call them? Adult. And after hearing, she was like, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like, and I'm like, I don't like the idea that someone's not enjoying.
I think you had a daughter too.
Yeah. Anyways,
a lot.
I've just found more productive things to do.
You know what? Also, I'm fine if people watch porn. Do you? I like a little porn sometimes, but there's something I don't know if it's Taylor's visual, but like a guy just actively beating his meat alone in a room that's dark. That feels like really...
Guys, I got...
It feels like a lot. And I don't know if it's because Taylor confessed on the show that he watches it 3 times a day, but it's just in my head.
Let me paint a picture for you, Carson.
Stuck in my head. Taylor's stuck in my head.
I've got young children running around, a wife, we've got nannies, we've got people in and out of the house all the time. The last thing I need is for someone to bust into the room with my ankles or my pants down around my ankles, beating my meat in the corner. It would just be devastating. That's just not, I don't need that to happen in my life. I'm way too far along to get caught in that position.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That would just be terrible. Can you imagine? I was like, hey, I got the new flower collection for whatever you're putting in the house, and I'm just
if I catch you watching porn, you know what I'm going to say? Let them.
You won't. I mean, that's the thing is I would rather not have the porn than even risk for a second getting caught in that house.
I would love to catch you watching porn.
No, and imagine the face.
I would just love it.
That's every guy's worst nightmare, to be caught with that face alone.
And that face is tough.
Someone's everyone's like, oh, you shouldn't be ashamed. You should talk about sex. Some things you should be ashamed of. If you get caught with your hands down on your ankle in your house doing
Remember when we were in Aspen and I took Weston's phone and was trying to order something and all this porn popped up?
Just put it. Okay, I guess we're just gonna put him on blast.
Okay, what's your number 2?
Okay, this is number 4 now.
Okay, Michael, whatever.
Number 4 is, I think this is a really valuable exercise that everyone can do that we don't do enough as people. And that is to make an audit list of what worked and what did not work in the year. So
that's a good one.
Literally, you could create a T chart. Remember those old T charts you created in school? and you say on one side what worked for me and the other side what didn't work for me. And you could go down and you could say the routines that worked, the routines that didn't work. You could say, the habits that worked, the habits that didn't work. You can say, if you've been watching politics for the last 8 years through 2 different administrations and you haven't been executing because you've been telling yourself that this administration's holding you back, maybe that's not working. I just went on a tangent. Friends, relationships, all sorts of things. You could go through honestly. This is the hard part because a lot of us struggle with self-awareness. Going through and saying like what really was serving me and what really was not. And then by the end of that list, you'll have a blueprint of what you should continue doing in the future and throughout the year, what you should do more of, and what you should maybe think about eliminating or doing less of.
I think friends is a good one too. If you're constantly complaining about a friend, it's just not working out. To me, I would rather walk on the beach. I would rather take a walk outside. I would rather meditate. I would rather eat good pizza with my kids. If it's not someone that you're really excited about, it might not just be a fit. And listen, there's different seasons of friendships. If you're constantly complaining about the same friend over and over, you're the problem, not the friend.
Yeah, but you could even do it with content, like what content's been working for you, what's not been working for you, what, sleep routines, what's not, like all of these things. I think we go through life and we just get into these habits and these routines doing the same things and the same patterns over and over. We don't stop enough to assess what's working and what's not. And this could even be for what's going on with dating or in relationships. Like once you go through the list and you're honest about it and you put as many things on there as you can, then you can at least move forward into the next year or this year with an idea of what you should keep doing and what you should maybe think about eliminating. So
Taylor should audit his Google history and look at all the different kinds of plethoras of porn that he's been watching and see what's been working for him and what hasn't.
I know we're on the porn tangent, that if more guys were honest about if porn is working for them or against them, you would have less people participating. And again, I have no problem. Like if that's your thing, that's your thing.
But if you're coming too quick in the bedroom, that's probably a
problem.
If
you're having intimacy issues, or if your testosterone's low, or if you're not getting dopamine, or if maybe you can't get turned on. Like there's a million things that I think that causes issues with. But anyways.
Okay, this one I think every single person on the planet who has a phone needs to think about. Having really purposeful boundaries around my phone. That is my 2025 energy. I don't want to be someone that is like Ichabod Crane. Like I don't want to be Ichabod Crane in my phone. I don't want my kids to see that. I want to put away my phone every single time I come home and spend uninterrupted, fully present time with them, with my husband at the dinner table. I don't want a phone. I don't want to use my phone when I'm walking to the bathroom. I want to be thoughtful about it because what I'm noticing is that everyone around us is addicted to their phone. Like it's honestly crazy, and I'm not discluding myself. It's just like we can't do anything without the phone. And so this year I want to almost be like really mindful of when I'm using it and when I'm not. And one thing I've done, yes?
I'm just waving at you because it's really awkward to hear you talking. I'm just like, I'm over here, buddy. I'm just over here in the corner. Just turn your head a little.
I'm not talking to you.
Okay, all right.
Let me get my protractor out. The phone is I think going to become a problem. I see people getting more addicted, not less addicted. I literally think people are going to start going to rehab for their phone. It's so dismissive and obnoxious too when you're talking to someone. And by the way, I'm including myself in this. I don't think I'm superior.
Lauren, you're literally saying what's dismissive and what is it while you're not looking at me as you're talking. Am I insane or are you insane? Or are we insane?
So I just, you're making me laugh, Michael.
Well, I'm surprised I'm making you do anything considering you're not even looking at me.
You do look dewy. I haven't seen you today.
Oh, what do I look like in your peripheral?
You look dewy. I just really want this next year for me to put away my phone intentionally. So one thing that I've done this year that's been absolutely game changing that I think everyone should try is I put away my phone at 7:30. That's it. The phone's on airplane mode. It's off. I never bring it to bed. I like don't want my phone to be my security blanket in bed. I don't think it's a good example for my children. I don't think it's time. I don't associate my phone with rest. Like I just think my phone's disgusting by 7:30. I work off my phone. My phone's constantly around me. Everything I do for social media is on my phone. By 7:30, I'm done with it. It's put away and out comes the Kindle in dark mode. And that helps me to wind down and relax. So I think what I'm saying with this one is like, I would really have a plan and a strategy when it comes to your phone for this year. Don't just like numb out on your phone and use it as some distraction. I know for me, I'm also going to be making sure that my phone is away until like 9 or 10 in the morning. So I have that time. I do that most of the time, but sometimes you get sucked in. So it's kind of a work in progress.
All right.
What's your next one?
I got half of that because I wasn't making eye contact with you. So hopefully that one I can apply.
Cry me a river.
This one I think you'll agree with me on. And I really thought about something that made me happy this year that I haven't done for the last few years. We've just been so into it with kids and work and the show and everything. But I think it's interesting and maybe beneficial for everyone to think about taking on and learning either a new hobby or a new skill set. For example, what we did this year is we both got really into tennis. And this was something that I never played before growing up. It's something that I really wanted to learn how to get better in. I'm still obviously a huge work in progress. Tennis is very enjoyable yet very frustrating at the same time.
I know, but that's why it's like it's
yeah,
fun.
I love it.
It's like chipping away.
And so anyways, the tip there is it doesn't have to be tennis, but I think it's a great idea for anyone to think of a hobby or a skill or an art that you can pursue that takes you out of your work, out of your family life, out of your relationship, out of your problems. It's going to force you to focus on that. So, if you've been someone that's like, hey, I really want to get into art, maybe it's taking art classes. If you want to get into a new sport, maybe it's learning that sport. In our case, it was tennis. If you want to learn a new skill set or, study something different, whatever it may be, I think we take life so seriously. We don't incorporate nearly enough play and leisure and downtime. And so for us, it was tennis. It was also a little bit of Pilates. I think I'm going to pick another thing this upcoming year to try to get into.
You're going to talk about your Pilates?
Well, I got into it a little bit. I'm still learning more, but these are things that Pilates and tennis I never did in my entire life before. I'm 38 or 37 going in. And so to take those on at this stage of life, it just proved to me like, hey, you can keep doing things. And I think the learning curve is interesting.
Yeah.
And it takes me out of my work and out of the stress and out of my family life and all of that. So I would suggest everybody just kind of pick one thing that's been in the back burner or back of your mind to pursue in 2025 because I think it's enhanced everything else.
Michael is very good at Pilates.
I'm not very good at it.
Tennis also was recommended to me by Dr. Amen because he scanned my brain and told me that to avoid dementia or Alzheimer's, I needed to take on a sport. What was it that used my coordination?
They said that people that play racket sports, particularly tennis, ping pong, I don't know the other one, studies have shown that they can live 10 years longer. So
yeah, it's a great sport. It's so much fun. I think it's helped our marriage. It's like we've even involved our kids and we got the best
and
tip.
Our friends.
Our friends are involved. We got the best tip from this teacher that said that you should take your kids on the court for only 15 minutes. And then when it's starting to get fun, you should pull them off.
Well, he's also very competitive. But no, the idea is that you want them to crave doing it as opposed to
and be excited and not be overwhelmed with like, oh my God, I have to play this sport. I don't want to be a parent that's like constantly pushing my kids into every single activity every day. I want to see what they gravitate towards and I want to see what they like. And I want to make sure they're enjoying it. I don't want to be like a mom that has 6,000 things for them to do every day.
This is like a bonus for the couples out there. I think Lauryn and I deciding to play tennis together has also been good for our relationship because when you travel or when we're together, we can play it together.
Yeah.
You can age with it. And there's always tennis courts around the world. So we found something to do together as a couple that we're both learning at. So
we don't do enough together.
Yeah. Well, we wanted another thing to do together.
Okay. What's next? Let's see.
What is this, number 8?
Oh, this one you'll be so happy about. So I read every single night. It is non-negotiable. It's the most important thing, one of the most important things I do every day. It's to me like working out. I want to work out 7 days a week. I want to read 7 days a week. It's a streak that I'm on. I think it just makes you smarter, better, faster, sharper, more powerful.
What if I start talking like this?
Michael.
Isn't that gonna be weird if I was just like, if
so
I was
you're
just
gonna
going
be
like
happy.
this?
This is your Christmas present. I'm finally committing on air to reading the books that my husband has asked me to read.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
No, I am. So this
Which
is
ones have I asked you to read that you're
Shogun.
You're going to read Shogun by James
Lonesome
Clavell.
Dove.
Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry.
Noble House.
Taipan first, but then Noble House.
Weston said he didn't love Taipan.
No, he loved Taipan. He didn't like Gaijin.
Okay.
But Gaijin is...
I don't know about Gaijin.
Listen, for the James
That
Clavell
sounds
readers out there,
overwhelming.
James Clavell is an amazing author. They just made Shogun into a show, which was pretty good.
So one thing that I'm committing to is reading outside of the typical genres that I read in. And you should be really excited about this because Michael and I, we love to read together. Another thing we do
Was
together.
it because this morning I crushed you in Trivial Pursuit and you thought you were going to win, but your focus was too narrow?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
You knew questions about Hello Kitty today.
That did help. Yeah, I read vast and wide and far and long.
Okay. Well, I am not only going to keep my streak of reading every night, but I want to examine what I'm reading and make sure it's very broad. So that's sort of just like a New Year's resolution that I can implement every day a little bit. I don't like to take on this huge sandwich
By the way,
of a resolution.
as a tangent, time out here, anyone that reads Shogun and Lonesome Dove will write in and thank me later if you haven't read them already, because these are like some of the greatest works of our time.
Okay.
Right. And you're gonna read and be like, wow, I should have read that a lot earlier.
Okay.
I've read each of them 3 times. I love them so much. You can go back and read great books. Quick break to talk about Symbiotica. You're currently listening to an episode all about starting the year off right, implementing habits that you know will help carry you through the year in the most effective way possible. This is why I'm so excited to talk to you as well about Symbiotica's liposomal vitamin C. Bringing liposomal vitamin C from Symbiotica into the new year is a no-brainer. If you want to feel better, you want more collagen production, you want your skin to look better, and you want to have your immune function blasting at the strongest wavelengths possible, implementing Symbiotica's vitamin C is a no-brainer. Lauren and I have been taking their vitamin C for years now. Every single time I fly, every single time I travel, every single time I'm worried about getting sick, I slam a pack of their vitamin C and I'm good to go. What I love the most about the liposomal vitamin C from Symbiotica is that you eat it, unlike taking it like a regular pill supplement. You know your body's getting exactly what it needs. And what's also cool about Symbiotica is the quality of their products. They're free from seed oils, preservatives, toxins, or artificial additives found in so many supplements. You're only getting the good stuff your body craves. What we find makes it so easy and consistent is their convenient monthly subscription service that helps you never run out of your health boosting essentials. Lauren and I think are subscribed to almost all of their products. We've had the founders of Symbiotica on this show, I think 4 or 5 times. We're going to have them on again because you can just talk to them on and on. They're doing so many incredible things as a company. So check them out. High quality, holistic wellness right at your fingertips. Be present and feel your best for life's most memorable moments. Go to symbiotica.com/TSC or use code TSC for 20% off your subscription order plus free shipping today. Again, go to symbiotica.com/TSC or use code TSC for 20% off your subscription order plus free shipping today.
A lot of you reached out like a crazy amount after our episode with the founders of O Positive Health. And some of you shared your experience with PCOS. Some of you talked about vaginal health, and some of you talked about just sex health in general. You loved that podcast. And it doesn't surprise me because I feel like it's not talked about enough. O Positive Health supports women at every stage of their life. So from your first period to even beyond. So they have this endocrine superfood powder. It's probably one of their most amazing product drops. So it's called Flow Endocrine Superfood Powder. And it basically just supports your endocrine system. They also are all about vaginal health. So if you wanted like an intimate deodorant for down there, or even a boric acid suppository, they really have you covered. Their vaginal probiotic is very, very popular. Women all over TikTok are saying it really helps with vaginal odor and pH balance. I think this company is very avant-garde, and I think the messaging behind it is so important. This should not be a taboo subject to talk about your vagina. I think this just needs to be talked about more. If you're looking for O Positive Health, you can find it in Target nationwide in the intimate care aisle. You can also go on Amazon or find it at opositive.com. You should know that everything they do is backed by a team of board-approved doctors. Visit opositive.com and use code SKINNY at checkout for 25% off. That's opositiv.com. Use code SKINNY for 25% off your order. That's O Positive without the E. If you follow me on Instagram stories, you know I love my Oura Ring. You see it in a lot of pictures. And when I'm wearing it, I'm always wearing it to upgrade my sleep. I take my sleep so seriously. Like, it is probably number one on my list, even before time. Sleep is the most important thing to me because it sets the entire tone of the day. So I wanted to upgrade this, and I talked to Brian Johnson and also a sleep expert, Matthew Walker. They both recommended the Oura Ring. I tried it. I loved it. If you're unfamiliar with the Oura Ring, it's a revolutionary smart ring that delivers personalized health data, insights, and daily guidance. A lot of people like me use it to learn how to improve sleep, manage stress. They like it to understand their heart health, track activity, and more. Oura Ring empowers women to better understand their bodies so they can be their own health advocate. For instance, something that's really cool is you can use the Oura Ring with the Natural Cycles app. So you can literally take control of your fertility effortlessly with Natural Cycles. I think this is so amazing because it really gives you the power, which is awesome. If you want to upgrade your sleep like I did, or you just want to prevent or plan pregnancies with Natural Cycles, you have to check them out. It's such a good one to commit to your health, your body, yourself. In the new year, it's all about sleep, and I know you guys feel the same way, so definitely check them out. You can visit auraring.com. That's auraring.com.
So I'm just going to really be mindful of what I'm reading this upcoming year.
Your son's middle name is one of the names from the characters of Lonesome Dove.
I picked it out.
No, how would you pick it out if you've never read the book?
I'll tell you how I picked it out. This is a true story. You guys do not believe him.
This is unbelievable.
I started reading Lonesome Dove, and I'm about 40 pages in.
That's
and
even
in
worse.
it, I met the character Woodrow Call.
No, yes, but hold on, that's even worse.
And then I looked at you and I said, we should name Town's middle name Call.
You know why it's worse?
And you lit up, and then you rebranded it as your own
No,
idea.
you know why it's worse?
Why?
Because you have no clue what that character did or what happens
I just
or who it
knew
is.
that was your favorite book. So I was like, this is genius, Lauren.
You know that character's a serial rapist.
Oh, okay, Michael.
I'm just kidding. It's not, but what if it was? It's not, but what if it was?
Okay,
see,
what's next,
see,
Michael?
Lauren, fuck, see, you don't even know what's going on. This is why you need to read the book. Okay.
Go ahead.
My next one is that, we've done all this work to figure out our intentions, to set the year, to figure out our goals, to audit what's working and what's not doing. And then I have a note that I always talk about with people close to me. I say, it's time to rally the troops, the team, the support system, the people around you. I think if you just hold your goals and your aspirations inside, that's half the battle. But really, when you share your intentions and your goals and what you want to happen with people that are a true support system around you, that's when they actually start to manifest and become real. So a lot of things we're saying on this show, we're sharing to a very wide group of people, and now we're going to be held to account by that group, which is you guys. I also think, you see this work when people start to get in the gym and they have a buddy system, someone they can train with. You start to see better results. If it's a reading friend, you're in a book club, whatever it is. If you're in a company and you're with a group of people and you say you want to achieve a certain goal. If you're in a relationship in a family and you sit down as a family and say, this is what we want to happen. So it's important to speak these goals and intentions into the world and into people around you that actually care about you so that you can be held to account. Even for the negative things, say you have maybe a poor friendship patterns or poor dating habits, saying what you won't do to people around you and asking them to help you through it is going to help you stay accountable to yourself. And so it's a very simple one, but it's basically speaking to the people around you, sharing your intentions, sharing your goals, and letting people know that you expect to be held accountable to all of them.
I kind of agree with you, but I kind of don't.
Okay.
I was talking about this to my trainer, Brent, today. I'm not a fan of people that run around talking about what they're going to do without action. So while
that's different.
Yes, but I also think like less talk, more action.
Yes. I mean, listen, there is nothing worse than people just chatting and chatting and
An
chatting.
idea is just an idea is just an idea.
We've covered that for many years on the show. If you're just saying what you're going to do, or you're talking about how this guy or girl is so terrible to you in the relationship, and you're just droning on and on without making changes. Like,
or
that's the worst.
Or there's a business idea that we've been talking about since 2023,
Yeah, no. The idea here is that, again, this is why you have to share it with people that are actually your support system and actually care about you. If you're just saying things to people and they're not holding you to account or calling you on your bullshit when you fall short of what you've said you're going to do, then those people don't really care about you. They're not really your friends. Those are just
By the
fellow.
way, I also think this is important to say. I've done this before multiple times. I remember, and I don't think we've ever told the story on the show. I was talking about launching this blog 14 years ago. I was talking about it all the time to Michael. I have this idea for this blog. It's going to be like this resource for women everywhere. It's going to have little tips and tricks and health ideas. And I would talk to him about it and talk to him about it. Finally, one day over oysters at Morton's, we were having chilled martinis with blue cheese stuffed olives. You said, this is the last time I'm talking about it. Launch it. And I did.
Sounds
I
about right.
did. But this is like when your back hurts.
No.
This is also like when your back hurts. You tell me your back
It's
hurts.
not the same as when your back hurts.
6,000 times. My thing is, if your back hurts, let's put some systems in place. Let's go lay on the PMF.
My back hurts from carrying all your bullshit, right?
Let's go get a body worker. Let's go get your back stretched. Let's get in the gym. Let's move. Let's get it together. Let's get some Ben
Pinched
Gay.
it in the back.
Some fucking Tiger Bomb, bitch. Let's get some systems to get your back feeling
It's
better.
not a good analogy, but I
Okay.
get where you're going with it.
Okay. Is it my turn?
No, but anyways, yes. To wrap that up though, you have to share these things with people that are going to hold you to account. If you have people that are just commiserating with you and listening to you share the same thing over and over without holding you to account, then it may be time to revisit that support group. Also, I had young sisters. I would watch them gossip with the gals, is that what you call it, over and over. And I would have to say, Jordan, Tara, that girl's not your friend. She just wants to see you fall down. And I would have to tell her to step back from those kinds of people. So guys, girls, if you're just commiserating with people and you're never making change and they're just sitting there empathizing with you all the time, like maybe that's not what you need. Once in a while, it's okay to kind of get things out. But if it's all the time over and over and you're all both in the same place, it's time to switch friend groups.
My last and final one is I do this chart. I have done it every year for the last 5 years. Michael doesn't even know this. And it's called the more and less chart. And I've done this every single year. And what I do is on one side of the page, it says more. And on the other side of the page, it says less. And I write what I want more of this year and what I want less of. This could be anything from you want less alcohol, you want less toxic friends, you want more time on your calendar, you want more space on your calendar, you want less housewives, whatever it is, you make a more and less and you write down everything in a very granular way. So it's not like broad things, it's actually very specific. And sometimes my list has like 50 on each side. And every single time where I need like my compass straightened, is it a compass? My leveler straightened?
I don't know what
a picture leveler.
A leveler.
Yeah, every time I want my leveler straightened throughout the year or I need clarity, I go back to that list and I just look at it. And you can literally take a picture of it and put it on the background of your phone. You can just have it on your phone. You can constantly just remind yourself of where you're going and who the fuck you are.
I will just say this one last time on this episode because I just wanted to be honest if I missed anything here. I am a much better communicator when I can look at someone in the eyes.
So on your list, you can write less side
Because
view, more straight on.
We are trained to, when we have interactions with people, to look them in the eyes so that you can listen to them clearly. So I think
what I say to that? Let them.
I think I kept up, but okay, this is the last one on the list, guys. I think it's interesting. It's different. I've only done it once or twice because it came to me. Again, I will not take credit for it. I am a huge fan, or was fan of Charlie Munger. Rest his soul. He just passed. And I've read a bunch of his work, and I follow him, and I like his speeches, and I just think he's got a ton of wisdom. So, anyways, he wrote something along the lines of write your own obituary and then live in that way. Meaning, like, he was saying, if you were to write your own obituary about what you want people to say at the end of your life.
Have you written yours?
No. So I'll get to the point.
Okay.
I should write it. So don't you rail me here. So he was saying, write your own obituary and then live. So, like, for example, if someone said, oh, he was a loving husband that was faithful and treated everybody, like all these things, then it's really easy to kind of live in that way. You wouldn't live counter to your obituary. I think for the year, in the third person, right now, this month, you could write a summary of what you would want people to say about you at the end of this year. So in my case, it could say, hey, Michael Bosstick was such a great businessman this year. He stayed so focused. He managed all of his stuff without stress. He still took care of himself. You could write all of this stuff down. I'm just giving you an example. And essentially, if you write that, it sets, again, the intention for the year because now you're held to account. And then I think periodically, if you have that written down in your journal or in your computer or in your phone app or whatever it may be, you could refer to what you would want a third party to write about you from an accomplishment and a human perspective at the end of this year. And then again, you just act accordingly. So a lot of the advice that I've been giving on this episode is actually just to get in the mindset to create the identity that you need in order to execute against your vision and your goals. Again, something else I won't take credit for. If you read Atomic Habits from James Clear, who I want him on the show, he says that it's much easier to adopt a habit when you take on an identity. So you can't just set a goal or say you want to do a habit without also taking on that identity. So again, like some of the examples he uses, like I'm going to be a healthy person. So then you can live the way a healthy person would. I want to be a great career person or business person. Then you could live that way. And I think the same thing here. You write down this summary of what you want someone to say about you at the end of the year. And then you just live in that way with that intention and with that identity.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for listening, watching.
Tell us what the best time of the year is on my latest post.
I thought you were saying that to me because it's the first time you
No, I
looked
want
at
to
me.
know what everyone thinks. The best time of the year to have time to yourself to do a think week is January 2nd to the 7th. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Lauren, I'm again going to just, like, you are living in the clouds. Everyone that
Carson
works
agrees with me.
in a company is
No, I'm
getting
not.
bombarded on the second.
They're not, though. Everyone is burnt out. They're tired. It's like they just...
Why are they tired? They just took a
It's
long
like
break.
kind of a hibernation period. They didn't take a break if they're around their family the entire time making small talk with Aunt Fran.
But that's
I'm
why.
sorry.
But that's why
Don't-
you get the break after
Wrong.
making small talk with
Carson,
Aunt.
I'm going to go ask the entire office right now. I said it.
You get the
I think
small
I'm right.
talk done on December 27th.
By the way,
to
I'm
the
going to
30th.
beat Michael's ass in trivia tonight.
No, you're not. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all. Happy New Year.